Okay, we're going to start out working on the foundation plan, but we need to go over a few things out of the chapters first. One is we're going to be looking at the type of foundation for this particular structure, and depending on your geographic location you may choose to do a crawl space foundation, which I have a small example here in the window, or a basement foundation. So we're going to look at how do you determine the size of the stem wall or the foundation wall, what materials, and then the size of your footing and what materials, and how do you show those on a foundation plan. Now we are going to also be drawing these two details, or you will be drawing at least a detail from your foundation plan along with this assignment, so you need to kind of be familiar with all the components. So in your textbook you've got a lot of different examples for, let's say, a monolithic slab, which may be where the footing, the wall, and the floor are all in one pour. You may see a concrete block foundation, or you'll see a concrete pour. We're just going to assume for this drawing, to make it easy for us in the detail work, we're going to just do a concrete pour. But these could be concrete block foundations, but pours are a lot more common nowadays than, in some instances, than block. So how do you determine how wide that foundation wall needs to be? One, you're going to base it on the number of stories. So a single story is going to have a lesser wall width or footing width than a two-story, more than likely, based on those load calculations that would have been done by a structural engineer. What we're going to be looking at in our drawing here is going to be as if we were using our 2x4 exterior wall and brick. And if you looked at our floor plan, that's exactly how I've drawn it. I just didn't hatch for the brick pattern. So you'll notice that on the floor plan there are two exterior wall lines, and one of them is the exterior of the face of the brick, which would be out here. One is the exterior face of the wall, and then one is the interior face of the wall. So on the foundation plan, what we're trying to do is make sure that we line up the perimeter edges of that wall with what we're supporting. So one, we're supporting the face of the brick, and then one, we're supporting the interior of a sill plate and the floor framing that we're going to have. So in this case, our brick is about a 3.5 inch brick. We usually have an airspace between it and any other structural wood members or the concrete. So we're going to use a 10-inch stem wall. Then we're going to offset our foundation stem wall to make our footing. So we're adding actually 4 inches to each side. In your text it talks about only adding 2 inches. That's the minimum requirement. In our particular case we're going to add 4. We're going to have more of a spread foundation just because we are not sure exactly on our soil. So a lot of that foundation width would be based on where is the undisturbed soil, how deep do you have to go, and what type of soil is there. So that's going to make a difference on the size of the foundation. It'll also make a difference on the depth of the foundation. So we're just going to use a basic, whether you're doing a basement or a crawl space, and we're going to show our foundation footing at 1 foot 6 inches wide, 1 foot tall. Just some other things to note is we do have rebar located in the bottom of our footing, about 3 inches up and 3 inches in from each side. That's about a 5/8 inch diameter is what the number 5 means. It's just a steel rod that runs the full length of the footing. Our stem wall again could be poured concrete or CMU. We have an approximate minimum crawl space. There at least needs to be an 18-inch crawl space from the bottom of your floor joist to the grade below that. But on the exterior of the wall you'll notice that from the top of your foundation to grade, a minimum of about 6 to 8 inches is what you will have there. So if you were going back and drawing elevations for the structure, those are some of the numbers that you might use to show heights in your elevation. And then below grade, again, we just want to make sure, based on our code, how do we reach that soil depth for our load bearing capacity and frost depth. And again, your basement wall is really not that much different. The only difference would be that there's a poured slab for the floor in the basement, and then from the top of that floor to the bottom of that joist, that height is usually going to be determined by your client. So do they want an 8-foot ceiling? Do they want to have living space in the basement, maybe have a 9-foot ceiling? Do they want to do 10 foot and have a drop ceiling so that all their duct work and plumbing and everything can be run? So now that you know just a little bit about the basics of our foundation, we're going to go to your CAD drawing that I provided in your class. And what you've been given is on the model tab, you see the floor plan, plumbing, some dimensions, some notes. And then you'll see that I created a layout which already has a border and a title block and shows just exactly the floor plan and the dimensions. So we're going to go to the model right now. And to get started, to make it easier for you, the first thing you need to do is turn off some of those layers so you're not seeing those. So I'm turning off anything for my floor plan. On my wall, I'm not going to turn it off, I'm just going to lock it. And the reason I want to do that is I have to use those perimeter lines to outline the foundation and the footing. And I won't know where they are if I don't have the floor plan where I can see it. But I don't want to accidentally erase or move something, so that's why I've locked it. I've created my layers already for the foundation dimensions, for the footing, and for the wall outline. The footing itself will have a hidden line type because the footing is under grade, so it will be hidden. The stem wall is going to be a continuous line type because it does come out 8 inches above the grade, so it should be solid. So we want to make sure that that's our active layer. Now we're going to get started with the drawing. You can either use your line or your polyline to create that perimeter line. Now polyline is quicker because we will offset a lot to show the 10-inch space between the two lines for the foundation wall, and then offset again 4 more inches outside and inside of that to show the perimeter edges of the footing. So I found polyline does make that quicker. So if you wanted to use your polyline command to do that, now's a good time to go ahead and set that up. Pick wherever you want to start your drawing. Make sure you don't have a width to the polyline. And you're just going to basically trace around the entire perimeter of the brick. So we're doing it based on the brick here since that is part of our foundation wall. So just want to make sure I'm catching those endpoints all the way around my drawing. Now with those done, now we're just simply going to use our offset command. So I'm initiating the offset. And then we're going to offset 10 inches will be the thickness of our wall. Pick that line and offset inside 10 inches. Then we're going to do 4 inches inside again. And then also outside 4 inches. And then we're going to go and take the 2 outside lines and we're going to change those to the footing layer so that they are on the correct layer and they are hidden. So now you very quickly you just have the perimeter of the foundation. If you wanted to turn off the floor plan now just to view that, you can do that, but we're going to go ahead and set up our plotted layout. Since we're going to have multiple stages and multiple layers of this drawing, we want to make sure we have our layers set for that, and we want to make sure we have all of our sheets set. So again, we already have our floor layout, so I'm going to go to the floor layout. I'm going to right click. I'm going to say I want to make a move or a copy. We're going to select to create a copy and say OK. Then we're going to go down, select on that tab, and rename that tab. So I'm right clicking, click to get the pull-up menu. And we're going to rename that foundation. Now what we're going to do is go back to this model space and we're just going to go ahead and turn everything back on. So we'll make sure all of the layers that we turned off originally and locked are turned back on so that when we go to the floor, you now can see on that tab everything related to the floor. When we go to this new one for foundation, what we're going to do is we're going to highlight our model. So we're going to make sure we go into model space. And then we're going to change what layers are frozen and what layers are not frozen. So to show the floor plan, we froze all the layers associated to the foundation. Now we're going to freeze all the layers associated to the floor plan. And we're going to unfreeze all layers that are associated to the foundation. And now you can actually see the solid line and the hidden lines representing the foundation plan. So that's the perimeter. So now how do you work around whether you're doing a wood framing floor or if you're doing a garage floor? So we're going to now separate the spaces by what's going to be a poured slab and what's going to be floor framing. And I'm going to go ahead and go back in and just activate that wall layer, but I want to lock it so I don't mess with it. And I'm going to zoom in just to the area. Let's just start with the back porch. We're going to use our line command now, and we're going to go off of the perimeter edge of the exterior wall lines all the way around that porch area to where it connects to what we have drawn as our foundation walls. Now, they may not line up perfectly, so this foundation wall, when I offset the thickness of the wall, which we're going to use a 10-inch wall or 8-inch footing foundation wall on just our perimeter walls. Once you do that, you'll notice that on maybe one of those two sides, it is not lined up perfectly. So if you wanted to make modifications to the back porch where this line came straight down and became the exterior of that wall, that would be okay. But you'd be moving the porch over. Don't move the walls of the house. So you're just moving what would be the exterior perimeter of the porch. I'll zoom back out. I'm going to repeat that same process on the front porch, drawing my lines from our existing foundation along the exterior wall lines. And you'll see that we're going to run into the same case here. It may not meet directly in line. So again, instead of moving the house walls, we're going to move the porch walls over. And that's how we would fix that foundation line. Just to keep these two in line. I don't know that it really matters when you're doing a poured concrete because they can adjust those frames accordingly by however many inches it's off, or they may auto-correct it themselves, kind of like when you type in the word. So they may fix it themselves once you're there. So again, we're going to offset that wall line 8 inches. And that's going to represent the foundation wall lines, or the stem wall, for our single story on that exterior wall. And we'll do cleaning ups of these corners too. You'll also need your footing under those, so again you'll go back and offset 4 inches on those lines. Now I'm going to move over to the garage. I'm going to repeat that same process. I'm going to come off of the interior garage wall at that foundation, come across that edge, and then straight down. And if I zoom in again, you will notice that they aren't always going to be lined up. So this foundation wall and that foundation wall do not exactly line up. Now again, without moving the structure walls, the foundation wall could actually offset, and that may be a 10-inch wall when we get finished. And it'll still give enough bearing seat for that framing wall. So we may end up taking and moving that particular wall and having it lined up directly with the original exterior perimeter foundation. And that makes that a little bit cleaner as far as your drawing is concerned. And again, offsetting 4 inches, making sure those are on the footing layer. And then we'll just come back in and we'll start to trim up some of these areas. So where 2 footing lines meet, those would be trimmed back. But we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Right now I just want to make sure that you get all the perimeter walls into place. That's separating what would be common for your stem walls based on the floor plan layout. But you'll notice that the floor plan is always the first drawing. That's the beef of the drawing. Everything else kind of has to work around what the architect has designed as far as that floor. So that's all we're going to be doing. We may make adjustments to the porch, both porches, just so that we have more of a straight foundation line. But as we start to look further into this drawing in our next video series, where do you place the piers and columns, you'll realize there's going to be a few other things that we'll have to fix up. And then we'll finish it all by adding all the dimension notes and dimensions for this plan.